Kevin, talk to you since you watched the tape. 8 sacks, obviously something you never want to have happen. But what? What happened on those?
That's me? Let me play it out. Let me hear it.
What did you see happen? I noticed. I mean, was it a lot of cover sacks? What can you do better this week to eliminate that?
Just pressure recognition and, just getting the ball out of my hands. That's what it comes down to. But nevertheless, we're optimistic about moving forward and ready to take on the challenge from Atlanta, a great team, a divisional opponent. So that counts for 2. Just trying to, get the 2 wins as much as we can, as best as we can.
On those layups, Mr. Richardson suggested you take a little bit more of this year. How would you say you're doing on that?
You tell me. I can't.
You don't have a self-assessment on that?
Now you ask me a question that you probably know an answer to that I don't know. I haven't. I'm just trying to win. That's it. Layups, dunks, touchdown, anything. Wins.
Can you still get revved up to play in Atlanta?
Of course I do. But Atlanta's just the next game. They came off of, they're coming off a really big win on Monday night. But we have to be ready. They don't care about, Carolina. And we probably say the same about them, but, that's a great team. We understand that their mentality is changing. They're a very physical team that is true to who they are. We just got to dissect it and just be ready for what they throw at us.
Their pass defense has really struggled this year. I mean, is this a chance for you guys to kind of get right again offensively?
We just got to stay consistent. I kind of mentioned this, to certain players, and it's not that we didn't have any mistakes that happened last year, because we had a lot of mistakes. The fact that we were winning, kind of blew it under the rug, so to speak, and now that we're 1-2, it feels like we just can't get into a rhythm of winning. A lot of things is and has been magnified, from the protection, from, the errant throws, from, everybody's responsibility. Everything trumps when we just find ways to win football games, and that's what it comes down to: special teams, defensively, and obviously offensively.
I know winning and losing is what matters to you. So the fact that you are 1-2 and you haven't had a losing record since, you guys only lost 2 games all last year. Has it been hard not to be frustrated?
Oh, it's frustrating. It is frustrating. But as one coach mentioned, just controlling the ripple effect. And it's like as he used the analogy, like throwing a rock in the pond, making sure that first ripple is you. Take care of you. Be the best you that you could possibly be. And then obviously it's going to, affect others. So that's what I'm trying to focus on, me taking care of what I'm supposed to in the meeting rooms, on the practice field, in the game, and then after that, everything else will take care of itself.
You mentioned getting rid of the ball. How many of those sacks would you take on yourself from Sunday?
Who cares?
What have you seen out of Atlanta's pass rush because they haven't got going? Really, the season they've been struggling.
I say it one more time.
What have you seen out of Atlanta's pass rush, because they have been struggling?
Well, it's not the pass rush, because, their defense is broken down in certain aspects. They have a extremely good, secondary. And, those guys are trying to create turnovers as much as possible. Their front seven is extremely talented, and we have to take account of a lot of things that they do. And it's really going to come down to us. It's just like this past game. It wasn't nothing that they pretty much did outside of us executing. We have to understand our role. We have to take that personal challenge to ourselves, knowing that we got to be better. And if we do that 9 times out of 10, we put ourselves in the best situation. And then it comes down to, just individual, how good the individual is.
Did that bother you losing that game down there last year when you guys were 14-0?
It always bothers me when we
At Atlanta.
doesn't matter. Losing doesn't bear no type of feeling more than the other loss. Loss is a loss.
You and Kevin Benjamin have had a great rapport in his career here. One target was far and away the lowest of his career. Was there anything in the film that you saw that made that happen?
That can't happen.
Okay.
That can't happen. And if I'm speaking for it, that won't happen again. He's too good of a player, as well as, Devin and Ted and those guys. Philly had a great game. He did everything that, the coaches asked him to do and more. We just got to find ways to stay on rhythm. We weren't in rhythm, and we got to find any and every way to stay on rhythm in a hostile environment on Sunday.
Understanding a loss is a loss, but last year you had a chance of perfection. Not many teams ever get a chance at that. Did that, when you look back on last season, where'd that rank among disappointments?
Huh?
Where did that, just not be able to pull off the undefeated season last year, where did that rank?
I'm talking about last year. I'm sorry, I just can't. I'm so focused on trying to get the 2-2. How crappy does it sound, but I'm just trying to get the 2-2. Last year is over with. We can use analogies from it and some things that, can carry over. But as far as talking about last year, I could really care less about it. This is a different team. Different people are here, and we're just trying to perfect our role in everybody. Knowing who we got in that locker room, we have to be better, including myself. And if we do that, and if I do that, then we'll be better.
You were a young guy when the Georgia Dome opened. This will be the last time you guys play there. What are your memories of that place, and does it seem strange that they're already going to another place?
No, not really. It's kind of have a lot of fun memories of the Georgia Dome. I remember growing up and trying to. Then it was if your high school team played in the Georgia Dome, that means you're pretty good. Well, I didn't have the opportunity to play, so my first opportunity to play in the Georgia Dome was the SEC championship, and just so much emotions running through me, and it's always a lot of emotions because off season, during the season, when we get opportunities to go back home, it's just like a respectful competitiveness that you have when you go to the corner store, when you go get something to eat. People know who I am, obviously, and it's just fun. It's something that you want to make sure that you have bragging rights, but outside of the individual stuff, we just got to make sure that we're doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing, and that starts off with running the football. We have to be better at running the ball and as effective as we can.
Cam, you're one of 16 captains, which is kind of unusual for an NFL team to have that many captains. Why do you think that dynamic is good for this team, and what does it mean to you to be a team captain?
It means a lot. It's something that's a mentality on and off the field. You get a lot of guys that come up to you, young and old, that looks and respects you and really care about your knowledge to certain situations. Like I say, we have 6. A lot of teams probably may have 4 or even 3. But we just maximize, every person is a different person. We maximize that for itself. We got TD, who's an unbelievable person, Luke Kuechly, Ryan Khalil, Charles Johnson, and Greg Olsen. Everybody brings something different to the table, and that's why we've been so successful.
What do you specifically think you bring to the table in that role?
Well, whatever I'm asked to do. I can't really pinpoint certain things without sounding like that guy, and I can't let you make me sound like that guy here, but I really am blessed to have the opportunity to be a team captain, and I don't take it for granted.
Is that playing like what you have to do last week with everything going on? Your role as a team captain, your role as a leader, or is that just just the way you are?
Well, I wouldn't say that plays a role because I'm a affiliated with this community and I care about it. You know, I actually live in Charlotte, you know, and when certain things happen, team captain or no team captain, I'm still a human being that resides in Charlotte. So I think that's bigger than football.
Speaking of that, Cam, I don't think we had a chance to ask you after Sunday's game, but the Martin Luther King quote you wore on your Sunday in warm-ups, is that going to be a continuing thing, and can you just talk about why you did that?
Well, you just got to stay tuned to it. But it was just so fitting for what was going on, and I just want to bring awareness to, you know, everyone about just holding each other accountable and just doing the right thing, no matter who it is, no matter the age, no matter the race, no matter the gender, doesn't matter.